Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss the second part of chapter 11, Rights and Duties. In the previous video, we discussed why does a country need a constitution, and I hope you must have known that it establishes trust, coordination, assurance of fundamental rights among its citizens, and it also tells how to govern people by the government. It even limits the power of the government. It means it uh, it stops the government to exploit its people, and it even tells about the rights, powers, and responsibilities of the people as well as of the government. It also guarantees political democracy. What is the meaning of political democracy? It means it gives the political right of electing its government, and in this way it maintains equality, dignity, and unity among its citizens. Otherwise, it may be possible that the citizens may fight with each other, they develop hatred for each other. But if the constitution gives them equality, freedom, and dignity, it develops unity among them. That's why the constitution is essential for a larger public interest, as it always works in the favor of the people. And after that, we discussed what are the fundamental rights and what fundamental rights have been given by the Constitution of India. These fundamental rights are essential to lead a dignified and quality life. Otherwise, if we don't have freedom or the equality among us, we may feel the others are not treating us equally, and even this feeling of hatred or the inequality may lead to the partition of a country. As you know, India and Pakistan were divided on the basis of their religion, as they were thinking that they were not being treated in India equally. In this way, these fundamental rights safeguard the personal interests, as these fundamental rights give us the equality, freedom of getting education and follow their culture or religion. In this way, it develops feeling of equality, and these fundamental rights are also essential for all round development of human beings. And these fundamental rights protect the minority group from exploitation by the majority. Here, minority means the people uh, who are less in number in the country following a particular religion or culture, and majority means the people who are more in number. Uh, India is a diverse country, but still we know that here in the Hindus are more, it means they are in majority, and the Sikhs, Jains, Buddhists are less in number. And in this way, they may feel that they are not safe in this country, as it is a Hindu majority country. But as the fundamental rights give them equality, freedom, and to follow their religion, they may feel secure in this country and may live with us without any problem. But these rights are not absolute. It means there are some restrictions on the freedom or the right to follow religion. As you see that, you can see that some people may sacrifice some animals or human beings for the sake of their religion, but it is not allowed, as the constitution does not give them freedom to sacrifice animal or human beings for their religion. And even there is no freedom that a person can force somebody to work for him at less wages. It means their freedom, their rights are not absolute. There is some restriction on their rights. We have already discussed that six fundamental rights have been given by the Constitution of India, and these are right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and right to constitutional remedies. As the constitution has given us some rights, but rights always come with duties. It means if you are expecting from the country that it should give you freedom, equality, but it also expects from you something, and these are the duties that you have to do. The first one is we must respect our constitution. It means we must follow the rules of this constitution and obey the laws of the country. We must respect our national flag and national anthem, and we must respect the diversity of our country. It means we must respect the different people uh, living in our country. We must not discriminate with them. As you can see that we should always respect our national flag, national anthem, and the national property. As you can see that we also uh, must protect our environment and natural resources, our railways, roadways, national parks, and national property that the constitution expects from us. As you can see the picture of national anthem and the people who respect our national flag. And we must help the government in times of national crisis. Here, national crisis means at the time of floods, or you can say landslides or earthquake, and even now the corona is also has become national crisis, and the people are donating money for helping the poor people. It is also a type of help, and our duty at that we should help people at this national crisis. We must protect and preserve our environment, and we must not damage public property, and we must treat all citizens as equal and should follow non-violence. You know what is the meaning of non-violence? It means being the citizens of India or a country, we should have the feeling of brotherhood for everybody, whether Hindu or Muslim, so that there may no violence among its citizens. Besides fundamental rights and duties, there are some directive principles of state policy that has been mentioned in the Constitution of India. How is it different from fundamental rights and duties? As fundamental rights are must that should be given to all the people living in India, but these directive principles of state policy, as the name suggests, that these are just the guidelines to the government so that the government work in a better way, but no one can force the government to apply these directive principles in the state. That's why these are just the guidelines to govern in a better way, and these guidelines are to ensure the welfare of the people, as these guidelines suggest that the government should provide water to its citizens at lower price, or free education, and many more things that are for the welfare of the people, but no one can force the government for it. The constitution says that the government must try to follow these, and the citizens cannot go to the court if these principles are not followed. As I have told you, if the fundamental rights are not given to us and the people are exploited, there is right to constitutional remedies that allows us to go to the Supreme Court or the high courts for justice. But for these principles, we are not supposed to go to the court to fulfill these. But still, the government of India tries its best to give to fulfill these guidelines for the welfare of people, because we are living in a democratic country, and the government knows that it has to work for the people, otherwise the people will not elect it in the next election. That's why the government try to fulfill these duties. And only this much for today, and I hope you must have understood this chapter. Thank you.